You know the fastest way to be able to build real wealth for yourself, for your family, for generations after you? It's building businesses and selling businesses. That's the key. So in this episode, I'm going to give you a big announcement. So I just sold half of my company and I'm going to go over how it happened. I'm also going to go over some of the lessons that I drew from the last year that you could learn from as well. So this way you can accomplish this goal for yourself if you want to sell your business at some point too. All right, let's jump in. Are you ready to transform your normal e-commerce business into one that experiences exponential growth year after year using online advertising? If so, this show is for you. Me and my guests will show you how you too can grow your e-commerce business to 7 or even 8 figures so you can go on more luxurious vacations, spoil yourself and your family, say yes to more opportunities, and become financially free so you never have to worry about money again. Welcome to the E-commerce Performance Marketing Show. Hey, what's going on, guys? Josh Marsden here, host of the E-com Performance Marketing Show. So in this episode, I'm actually going to talk to you about how I just sold half of my business and what led to it, what lessons I learned along the way. And this is just going to be a very transparent episode where I'm just going to have basically a conversation with you and just give you my feedback on the entire process, the entire experience, what type of lessons you can take from my experience as well, and where I'm taking my company in the future too. So a year ago in San Diego in February, I was on a hot seat at a mastermind event with all these other business owners or successful business owners that all gather to work together, exchange ideas, get advice, get support, get feedback from each other, and also from the head of the mastermind. And in this case, the head of the mastermind is Ollie Bilson. If you Google Ollie Bilson, Ollie is this incredible business coach, direct response marketer that has a wealth of experience and also successes behind him. And I was at this event. He put me up on the hot seat. It was my turn to get feedback from him in front of the entire group. And so I go up there and I'm sitting in front of the entire room and tell him what's going on in the business, what challenges I'm experiencing and what stress I'm experiencing as well. And he kind of drops a bomb on me. He says, "You should sell your company." I'm like, "What? I should sell my company?" And I had a goal of selling my company, but it wasn't going to be until maybe 2 years from now, like 2023. And he told me this, and I was like, at first, I remember what was going through my head, for one, I was like, is it even possible? Can I actually do this? I've never sold a company before. Is my company at a point where I could actually get some real legitimate value out of it if I were to sell it? And he convinced me that it was time to make that step, to make that transition, because he knew my goals were much bigger than the company that I had built. And he also knew that if I were to sell my company, that the cash out would help me accomplish some personal goals that I have for myself, such as buying a really nice home for my son and I. And so I took that advice from Ollie and I ran with it, because that's what a good student does of a mentor. You implement what's told of you, and you take action. So that's what I did. I took action right away. I listed my business on various business for sale websites like BizBuySell, Flippa. Also, there's a few others out there. I know there's one that's Empire or something, but anyway. And I listed my business on there. I also started to reach out to different people and just tell them my business was for sale. If you know of anybody that would be interested in my marketing agency, let me know. And I changed my mindset from that of running a business and growing that business to now I'm selling my business. This way I could take steps towards a bigger vision that I have for myself and entrepreneurship. And so I went through this process and I found success very quickly. Like, I had traction very, very fast. I had someone that made an offer on my business fairly quickly, based out of the UK, this great couple. I was really excited. I felt like that they were great, that I was handing the business off to the right people. They made a good offer that I was happy with. And we worked through the process, and then COVID happened. And after COVID happened, they said that they couldn't get qualified because of COVID, because they were planning on taking out a loan to be able to pay me for my business. And so I was like, okay, no problem. And so I had to move on from that potential buyer. I went on to another buyer after that fairly quickly. And it seemed very promising, seemed awesome. She was a serial entrepreneur, had bought and scaled businesses before. She had a good goal to roll my agency into her agency and build a bigger agency. So this way, she has a more valuable asset. And in that situation, she didn't really give me any reason, but it basically just dropped out. The LOI, letter of intent, had expiration dates, and she wasn't able to close by the expiration date. So then I had a third buyer, and this third buyer it sounded super promising. He was an agency owner out of Dallas, Texas. The previous one was out of Australia. And we worked through the process for several months, and I kept asking him here and there, like, how's everything looking? Are we looking good? And at one point he got to the finish line with his bank to get an SBA loan to be able to buy my business. And at the finish line, they wanted to change the terms of the deal a little bit with me. Luckily, the terms were actually improved terms where I was making more money up front, and there would be a more private deal between him and I that the bank wouldn't see, so this way he can get approved. So I was like, well, okay, no problem. And so fast forward to October, and in October, which is my birthday month, my birthday's Halloween, he tells me that the business sale should be closing on October 30th, possibly a little bit after that, but they're aiming for October 30th. I was like, oh, that's awesome. My birthday's Halloween. That would be incredible to be able to have my business sale close right on my birthday, basically. And that was like a week before October 30th. And then all of a sudden it was just crickets. And I reached out to him a few times. He never responded. My birthday came and went. He never responded. And finally, I was like, okay, he just completely ghosted me. And our letter of intent expired on November 14th. And between the last time I talked to him to November 14th, I reached out to him several times, was asking him for a status update, asking him also, did something happen? Let me know either way. I feel like we've been building a relationship, building rapport, and you should just let me know what's going on if something has happened. And he didn't. So that was kind of disappointing, as you can imagine, especially around my birthday. And so after that happened, I still didn't give up. And I reached out to various people that had expressed interest in buying my business. And I had told a number of people that I had a letter of intent on file. I see it going through. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't go through, but I'll reach out to you if something changes. And obviously something changed. So I reached out to several different people on a short list, and I was still getting calls and interest from various websites, from people that were interested in buying my business. And I reached out to this one guy that had reached out to me months prior. And when he reached out to me, he told me he wanted to buy a marketing agency. This way he could scale up his brands in-house. He, in the past, had been manufacturing products for other brands, and he's been basically helping others make wealth. And he wanted to now do it for himself with his own products. And I told him, unfortunately, I do have a commitment to sell my business to someone else, but why don't you become a client, because we can really help you. And he became a client. And so fast forward to mid-November, after this third buyer fell through, I reached out to him and I told him what had happened. And I said, are you interested? And then we started talking. And during our conversations, it led to me pitching, basically, why don't we work together? Because we both have the same vision, the same goal. Because my vision was this. My vision was I wanted to make a transition towards scaling up brands to sell brands in about a year or two, each brand. And I wanted to make 100 million in 3 years or less, following a mentor's benchmark, because he did that last year in 2020. He sold 162 million. And so I was like, okay, that's what I want to go after. I want to really build brands, scale them up, sell them, and essentially create wealth for my family and generations after me as well. And Adam, that's the guy's name, he wanted the same thing. So I creatively pitched that idea that we work together instead of him just buying my business, and we work together on this same mission that we have. And he liked it. He liked the idea. And I was really rolling the dice, throwing a curveball out there, seeing if I could make something happen here. This was the fourth, potential buyer that was super serious about buying my business. And we were able to work out the details. We were able to go back and forth, negotiate a bit, and now I could finally say that I have sold half of my business to Adam Hageman, who is now the co-owner of CVO Acceleration, which is my marketing agency. So now moving forward, we are looking to a bigger vision. I've actually taken the time to apply this book called Vivid Vision. It's a great book. I highly recommend it, by Cameron Herold, that goes over how to really build a vision that you could present to your company, to your staff, to vendors, to partners, to your board. And I went through the process of writing this 3-year vision. So the book says that when you write a vision, you're not writing a 5-year or 10-year vision, you're writing a 3-year vision because it's more realistic, it's more achievable. And so I wrote that, and in great detail too. And I've shown it to a few different people, and they've all said great things. And now we're working together on scaling up brands that we own, and also brands that we want to partner up with to sellable assets in 12 to 24 months on average. That's our goal. And I want to sell 15 to 20 of these businesses by the end of 2023 to make 100 million in e-commerce business sales. So that's the goal I'm working towards now. And I'm very fortunate, very blessed that this has all happened, that I was able to create a relationship with a great guy in Adam Hageman out of Boise, Idaho, and we're really excited for what the future holds. For legacy agency clients that may be watching or listening to this, we're still going to continue to serve you and perform and give you a great experience. We're going to honor our agreements. That's what we do. We're honorable. But moving forward, we won't be selling agency services. Instead, what we'll be doing is selling something similar. But the difference is that we're going to be charging a % of revenue per month, and of course we're incentivized to really grow revenue. So we're going to have those types of plans in place, and then ideally in about 6 months, with each partner agreement that we have, we'll have the opportunity to earn equity in the brand that we're scaling up with our partner. So that's what we're working towards now. And then I've also got my ARM5 Formula Accelerator, which is my flagship program. It's basically like where I put most of my time in, so this way I can help e-commerce businesses scale up to 7+ figures a year by learning digital advertising, digital marketing, funnels, emails, you name it, everything that goes into really scaling up an e-com brand. And I started that middle of 2019. It's gone well, and I've got big plans for that side of the business too. So this business is going to be twofold basically. I'm going to have the mentorship side of the business. I'm going to continue to scale that, continue to serve all the e-com brands in there as I add more, as well as I invite qualified businesses into that program to help them scale up to 7 figures plus a year. And then I also have the partner services side, where we become partners with brands that we feel are good fits for us, that align with our goals, that align with who we're looking for in a partner that wants to be hands-off as much as possible and wants to delegate all their marketing and advertising responsibilities to a team that can really make an impact and scale e-commerce businesses, using digital marketing and digital advertising. So that's what the future holds for me. That's what the future holds for my company as well. And with that said, I actually have a fun announcement. So the company is now going to be converting over here in the next few weeks to the ARM5 Formula company. So we're no longer going to be CVO Acceleration. We're going to put that behind us, and we're going to focus on the future with the ARM5 Formula company. So some things that I learned along the way, for one, true wealth building is all about selling businesses. You can build a business up, you can make a lot of profit, you can definitely have wealth out of one business. But in my opinion, to really really have the deepest impact on yourself and the people you care about, you want to be able to scale up businesses that you own or co-own into sellable assets. To me, that's the true way to generate as much wealth as possible. That's something I learned. Plus, on top of that, I learned through for her buyers that require an earnest deposit. I did that with Adam. I didn't do it with the previous buyers. And because of that, I was wasting a lot of time and I was wasting a lot of energy. And as you can imagine, when you are operating a business and and you've got your business that you're operating up for sale and you're seeing the sale happening soon, you really have to work on your motivation. You have to really keep your motivation steady and keep your emotions steady as well, because it's very easy for you to go through that emotional roller coaster of getting excited when you're about to sell your business, or when you get an LOI and you think it's going to happen and you're thinking the timing is going to work out the way they tell you. It's just a lot of ups and downs. And luckily I do a lot of self-awareness practices like meditation and things like that on a consistent basis to keep my emotions pretty level. But I'm human, I'm not perfect, and I definitely felt times where my emotions dragged, where I felt down, where I felt frustrated, where I was just feeling like, I can't wait for this to happen. I want this to happen now. I'm ready for the next step. I want to focus on the next goal. And, I had to be patient. I had to be super patient, which I'm not. And I had to, just work through those feelings, work through those thoughts and those emotions. So it wasn't easy, but I would definitely recommend to you that if you ever go through that process, that, if you don't already, adopt some sort of self-awareness practice like meditation and things like that to keep your emotions as level as possible, because selling a business, it's a little bit of a roller coaster for sure. Even the successful transaction with Adam, my now co-owner, even that transaction wasn't smooth either, because there was lots of back and forth. I had to be patient. We had our lawyers had to get involved, and lawyers, go back and forth, and it drags on a little bit. And it's just you have to be patient. You also have to really manage the emotions in that roller coaster when you're trying to sell your business. So that's another lesson and tip that I would give you. And then besides that, when you're building your business, really build your business like a business, with a team, with operations, with systems, with structures, with accountabilities, with processes. You can't sell a business that someone else can't step into. And so if you have a business that you want to sell at some point, you can't have a business that's overly reliant on you, where you're doing everything, and if you were to leave the business would crumble. So you really have to care about building an organization, empowering people, giving people responsibilities, holding them accountable and communicating that, while also giving them support, if they are struggling or they need help to hit their own expectations that you have for them. Also, you need to really make sure that your business is almost like is a machine, from marketing to fulfillment. Every part of the business needs to be like a step by step process, a machine. And not only do you need to have that as a machine that you follow and your staff follows, but you also need to have it documented. Every process, every system that's in every department in your business needs to be documented as well. So this way, when new people join your company, they can go through this documentation and they can jump into a responsibility very smoothly. Or if you do want to sell your business, you have everything documented, so it's very easy for someone to come in and take the business and run with it and keep building the business, but also be able to operate the business successfully, meaning that they're able to generate customers and they're able to also serve customers all fairly smoothly. So it's very important that you really focus on the documentation, the systems, the processes, the culture in the organization, all that stuff. You have to build a real company in order to sell it. So that's my feedback, and I just wanted to share that with you. I'm very grateful. The excitement hasn't hit me 100% yet. I think it's because of the fact that it's been an emotional roller coaster, and I've celebrated early a few times, which I probably shouldn't have, but I did. And now it's finally happened, and now I'm able to really work towards my big vision and also accomplish some personal goals that I have for myself. So, what I'd love to hear from you is if you're watching this, in the comments below the video, whether you're visiting our sites, where we're hosting it, or you're on our YouTube, or even on our Facebook page, let me know in the comments below if you'd like to sell your business and what challenges you see for yourself when it comes to selling your business. This way I can give you some feedback. I'd love to help you. But definitely take action on that, so this way I can give you some value and give you some feedback based on my experience that I just went through over the past year that I finally got to the finish line with. Also on top of that, for watching this episode or listening to this episode, be sure to hit subscribe. So this way, you could be entered into something new that we're doing moving forward. So now every single month, we're going to be letting anybody that has subscribed to the show and also hit the like button, which is the bell on YouTube. If you do that, we're going to see it. We're going to take your name down, and then we're going to put you into a pool. And then at the end of every single month, we're going to draw one name and give one special person, one special business owner, a free marketing assessment one-on-one call with me, where I can help you break through your marketing challenges and give you actionable feedback on what to do next to be able to grow your business and get past any obstacles that you're faced with in your business. So make sure to do that. So this way, for one, you don't miss any incredible episodes, and two, you're entered to win one of those free marketing assessment calls that I give out once a month. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey over the past year. It definitely has been a journey, and I've learned a lot through this process, and I'm super grateful, and I'm also just very excited for what happens next. Now, we have this massive opportunity that I've been calling to myself. I've been saying this to my team, the opportunity of a lifetime. And I'm really excited to really focus on scaling brands up that we own, buying brands, starting new ones, partnering up with existing brands that want help with their marketing and their advertising, and they want to, have just more of a peace of mind, less overwhelm, more results faster in their business. I'm really excited to be able to accomplish this goal and shoot for 100+ million here in the next 3 years. So again, thank you for watching or listening to this episode, and also tune in for the next episode. I'm gonna have an incredible guest for you that's gonna teach you about SEO and how you can really maximize SEO impact in your e-commerce business.
Thank you for tuning into the e-commerce performance marketing show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite part and share it with a friend. Until our next episode, here's to you and the success of your e-commerce business.